Alright y'all, so we have big things to do today. Big things. So we are actually going to be checking out a $50,000 car. Yes, a $50,000 car. Now this $50,000 car is part of the big three. Yes, the big three. Now you may be thinking, what is the big three? Well, I can't tell you. If I tell you, it'll spoil the surprise. But it is a $50,000 car that is part of the big three. Now I will show you in 3, 2, 1. Alright, so before we get started with today's video, make sure you like, subscribe, share the video, follow my Instagram as well, because I will be posting more on there, getting more active on there, doing cool stuff on there. So make sure you stay tuned for those and follow me so you can get updates on whether or not I'll be posting or not. So there's that. But yeah, like, follow, share, do all that good stuff. And now back to the video. Alright y'all, so I finally got the Ford Mustang. Yes, I finally got the 2024 Ford Mustang after freaking waiting a long time. So I'm gonna show you around it, show you all the cool things it has and all this other stuff. And yeah, so let's get into it. Alright, so the first thing we'll talk about in this 2024 Mustang is that this has a feature called My Mustang. Basically, it's like your personal driver app. Basically, so to access this driver app, you could just push this Mustang logo here at the bottom and it will show up. Basically, you can see your track, auxiliary controls, my color, gauge cluster, ambient lighting, all that, just with the push of a button on the Mustang logo. Just push the Mustang logo and it will show up right there. But I really want to talk about the gauges. Now the gauges are pretty cool because it has this feature where you can press it and it will show the Fox body. Now if you know about the Fox body, it came out like 87, 89, yeah, 87 to 89 year, and you can show it. It will show the gauges from that model, which is actually pretty cool. As you can see, I'm going through the different gauges, right? And the gauges showing different themes of it. But one of the themes is the Fox body gauge, which actually is pretty cool. Actually, it's like a little cool little throwback, right? Because you got little Fox body gauges for all you Fox body owners out there that knows about it. You know, good job. But yeah, you got this little Fox body gauge. It's pretty cool little throwback, which I actually do like. Alright, so what is actually powering this 2024 Mustang? Well, it's actually a reworked 5-liter V8 making 480 horsepower. Yes, 480 horsepower out of this reworked 5-liter V8. Now this is actually a dual throttle body V8, so it's newer than the previous 5-liter V8. Now this is actually the same engine that's actually in the upcoming Dark Horse, Mustang Dark Horse, which make 500 horsepower. So this make 480, the Dark Horse make 500. Now this engine actually sounds incredible, so take a listen. Now another thing I just want to talk about with this Ford Mustang, it actually has a 6-speed manual. Now you actually get this in a 10-speed automatic or a 6-speed manual. This specific one has a 6-speed manual. It's actually pretty good. Now this is actually very rare. You don't really see a lot of manuals in this car, which is kind of disappointing, but it is unfortunately going away. More automatics are coming in. But yeah, this actually has a 6-speed manual transmission, which is actually pretty impressive. I actually do like that they still have this transmission, a 6-speed manual. Pretty impressive. So another feature I just want to talk about in this driver's app, basically My Mustang, is that it has a feature called drift brake. It basically says it in the name, drift brake. Basically, if you just pull up this parking brake right here while turning and driving, you can drift it. It's basically simple as that, basically. But I guess Ford does it a different kind of way, I believe. I really don't know, but I will show you. I'll show you what it says here. You can just read it, pause the video, something like that. But yeah, pull this handle, you can basically drift the car. Alright, so another thing I just want to talk about is the steering wheel. Now, this steering wheel actually have a function that's actually never really see before. So basically, you actually change your drive modes on the steering wheel. It's actually pretty impressive. So you don't actually have to look down at the center console to go find the little switch to change your drive mode. You actually just do it on the steering wheel. It's actually pretty impressive. So basically, the drive modes, you got sport, normal, custom, drag strip, track, all that. But you could just access the drive modes basically on your steering wheel, which is impressive because, like I said, you don't have to look down. Just get it at your fingertip. You're just driving, just looking straight. You just change it just like that at your fingertip. You're not looking down. You're just doing at the steering wheel, which, like I said, is impressive. Alright, so another thing I want to talk about is the steering wheel, of course, because I just talked about the drive modes. So the steering wheel, I actually do like it. I actually do like that it's a flat bottom, so you can move the steering wheel around without messing you up with your legs and all that. Do like that it's a flat bottom. I actually do like the design of it. It looks very race car like, not your traditional steering wheel. Very race car like. Do appreciate and like that because it's very much different than every other steering wheel that is not a flat bottom. So I do appreciate that this is a flat bottom, and yeah, it's actually very impressive. All right, so another thing I want to talk about with this Ford Mustang is actually the design of it. Now the design is kind of mixed for some people. Me personally, I don't mind it. I actually don't mind the front. The front is very evolutionary of the 550 Mustang, which is the generation name of it. This is the 650. So between these two, the design in the front, don't mind it. I just don't mind the way it looks in the front. Now the back is it's kind of mixed. I don't mind it, but it personally not my personal favorite. I actually do like the 550 S550 Mustang. Okay, it looks better in the back and the front as well. But the front of this looks good. The back of the S65, yeah. It's fine. It's doable. It works. But I will say it's fine. Now the side of it. Now I will say the side and the rear fenders of it, if you can see it, people say it looks like a Camaro, like on the side, and because of the little arch, not the arch, but like the little kick out with the fenders and all that. As you can see, it's like I'll put a picture of a Camaro. Side whatever and side of this as well. They look similar, right? Some people say it looked like a Camaro, which that may be a good thing or a bad thing, who knows. But yeah, it's just like kind of a little detail that I noticed, as some people notice as well, that the little rear fenders stick out like a Camaro, which is actually like I said, it's up to you if it's either good or bad. Alright, so another thing I just want to talk about is the manual transmission. So the manual transmission actually feels very good. I actually do like the way it feels, and it actually you can hear the gear change if you in park, right? So you can hear it change as you in park. Like if you're moving it, right, you can hear it change, which I actually like, because you actually hear the gears, moving, right, if you're in park and all that. But yeah, I actually do like you can move it. I'm moving it right now, by the way, but yeah, you can move it and you can hear the gears change. I actually like that. Actually a cool little thing. Alright, so what is actually under the hood of this 2024 Mustang? Well, it's actually a reworked 5-liter V8, naturally aspirated 5-liter V8, making 480 horsepower. Now, this is the same engine that's actually in the Dark Horse, the Mustang Dark Horse, but in that, it makes 500 horsepower, which is pretty impressive. But this right here makes 480 horsepower. Dark Horse makes 500 horsepower. But this car actually sounds good, so take a listen. Alright, so another thing I want to talk about in this 2024 Mustang is that the screens. Now, the screens are actually probably one of the biggest deals in this car that people have mixed opinions about, right? Because it's not like the previous Mustang where it was just in the center console, not in the center console, but in the center, and you got your standard gauge, right? This is basically just straight up screen, two pieces of screen put together. You got 12-inch gauge right here, and a 14-inch, 13 to 14-inch gauge, not gauge, touchscreen right here, right? people don't like that. People say it's just, it looks tacked on. It doesn't look like a Mustang or whatever, right? It just looks two screens put together. People don't like it. I don't mind it. It's something different, right? People don't like change, basically, but it's something different, right? I don't mind it, right? It does look good. I will say that it does look good, but it is different, and I don't mind it. It doesn't bother me whatsoever, right? But that's that. Alright, that is actually it for today's video. My camera's about to die, but yeah, that is actually it for today's video. I hope you guys did enjoy my little review on the 2024 Ford Mustang. So I'll see you guys when I see you guys. Peace.